Welcome back. Okay, so hopefully you've already solved these. I haven't solved them because I wanted us to talk about them together. And then we're going to work on this next part too, because this first lesson's kind of divided into a couple of different sections. So again, I forgot to point it out before I ended the other video, but I'm hoping you guys noticed. Remember those goofy little semicolons? These are what they're asking you. That's the given value. So determine whether the given value is a solution for the equation. So you had to take this given value and substitute it in for the variable that it represented and see if it was a solution. So once I substituted it in here, then I have 5 plus 6, and the question mark was, is 5 a solution? And you would say yes, because I know 5 plus 6 is equal to 11. So that's pretty easy. Okay, the next one over here, I needed to substitute in 18 minus 6 equal 24. And so the question is 18 a solution for this? Well, no, because 18 minus 6 gives me 12. So that is not a solution. Okay, so that would be no. This one would be a yes. This one would be a no. Sorry, it should be an N. And then the last one over here, I needed to substitute in 36 divided by 4 equal to 9. And I have a question mark here, right? And then I do my 36 divided by 36 divided by 4 is 9. And so that is a yes solution. So hopefully you're able to, that's pretty simple. We've substituted in values for variables before. We're just using a little bit of different vocabulary because we're just saying, well, is it a solution for the equation? Which is just basically saying, plug in the number they're giving you for that variable and see if it solves it, if it makes it equal. So then the second part is, okay, this is where all that vocabulary practice comes into play. Well, no, actually that's on the next part, the third part. So I'm going to hide this. That's annoying. So we want to be able, the real goal of today's lesson is to be able to write equations from story problems. Writing equations is tricky and it takes a lot of practice. So we're going to represent some real world situations by writing some equations, just like he was doing in the intro video with the guitar. We're going to do that on a couple of different scenarios. So the first example they worked for you, they said Mark scored 17 points for the home team in a basketball game. Mark scored 17 points. That's important. Okay. His teammates as a group scored P points. Okay. We don't know what P is, but that's what everybody else scored. So like if we're playing a game, I'm like, well, I got 17 points. Everybody else got X amount of points or P amount of points. Write an equation to represent the situation. Well, I really like the way they break it down. We know Mark's points. And if we add the rest of the team's points and we just use P to represent points, then we know the total at the end of the game for their team was 46. So the equation is 17, Mark's points, plus P points, his team's points, equal the total that the team scored, which was 46. Okay, so we're going to try a couple of these your turns. We'll do the first two together, and then I'll just pause a second. I'll ask you to pause the video, try the last two, and we'll go over these. Because this is really the meat of what we're trying to do today is learn how to write some equations, okay? So we got Marilyn has a fish tank that contains 38 fish. So we know that there are 38 fish in the tank. So I'm guessing that I'm going to go ahead and put equals 38 over here because that's my total. I know there's that many fish in the tank. I should have read the whole thing first, but I'm kind of jumping the gun. There are 9 goldfish and F other fish. So I know the total fish in the fish tank are the 9 goldfish plus all the other fish, which are just represented with the letter F, because that's what they told us. The other fish is just represented with F. So this is going to be 9 plus F. So this represents the fish in the fish tank. I can't talk. 9 goldfish plus the rest of the fish equals 38 fish in the rest of in the fish tank total. Okay. So let's try this one. Juanita has 102 beads to make N necklaces. So we know she has 102. So I'm probably going to have 102 here at the end of my equation. She's going to make N number of necklaces, but we don't, this is similar to the guitar and the guitar string one. We don't know how many necklaces she's going to make, but we do know that each necklace is going to have 17 beads. So if I make one necklace, that's 17 beads. If I make 2 necklaces, it's necklaces, that's 17 times 2. If I make 3 necklaces, that's 17 times 3. Well, so since we don't know the number of necklaces, we can't times it by a number. So we're just going to say 17 times n, whatever the number of necklaces is, whether it's 2 necklaces or 3 necklaces or 4 necklaces, then she'll be able to make 102. Now in this, anyway, I want to jump ahead. I don't want to jump ahead. She has 102 beads. We don't know how many she'll be able to make, but it's going to take 17 beads for each necklace. So ultimately, to solve this, we're going to come back later and divide. Okay, so take a second and pause the video and try to write an equation for 6 and 7. And once you have that written, come on back or hit play again, and we'll wrap up this part 2 with writing equations and see how you did. Okay, so I'm going to scooch my book up here. So let's look at the last 2. Hopefully you already solved them. Craig is C years old. His 12-year-old sister Becky is 3 years younger than Craig. Okay, write an expression. They didn't ask you a question. They're just saying Craig is C. His sister is 12 years. No, his sister is 12. And Becky is 3 years younger than Craig. So since I know his sister's 12, okay, I want to have this side of my equation needs to be equal to this side. And so this, I know she's 12, but Craig is not 12, okay? But he is 3 years younger. No, Becky is 3 years younger. I'm sorry. So if C represents Craig's age, wouldn't I just do C minus 3, take Craig's age, Becky is 3 years younger, take away those 3 years, and I would get Becky's age. Okay, so that was kind of tricky. And then Sonia rented ice skates for H hours. We don't know how many hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, I don't know. The rental fee was $2 per hour, and she paid a total of $8. So I know she paid a total of 8. And if I take my $2 per hour and multiply it by H, the number of hours, 2H equal 8 would be my equation for that one. Okay, so these can be tricky, but just take your time and think about, what do you know? What's the unknown? And we had to really think about this one. Ended up being addition. This one was subtraction. These 2 were multiplication. We didn't have a division one this time, but we will. So hopefully you did well. Take a short break, come back, and we will finish up the next page and look at one more example. And then you guys will do some practice. All right. See you.